Hello, welcome to Cooking Time. I'm David Martone, Executive Chef at Classic Thyme Cooking School in Westfield, New Jersey. Today, I'm working with someone who's been with me since he's 14 years old. I have Adam Augenzucker, who's now a chef with me.
Hello.
Teaches kids classes and works at adult classes and does all kinds of stuff with us. So we're going to put together a whole bunch of different stuff. So I have three different dishes. One is a pork dish. These are all kind of one-pot meals. One is a pork chop dish, one is a chicken dish, and one is going to be a beef dish. So for the first one, what we want to do is to get our pork sauteing. I can't talk today, it's like pork. We want to season up our pork chops. We're using just regular bone-in pork chops, and we want to salt and pepper both sides. You know what, Adam, put a little bit of olive oil in that back saute pan.
No problem.
You always season up things both sides. And we'll get these guys sauteing in there. We'll crank up that heat a little bit.
You want them going
Set
in?
of tongs, yep, put them right in and get them sauteing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start actually to get some chicken going because we need to cut up our chicken and get it floured, and then we'll start sauteing that right in the next pan. So the first thing I want to do is separate out the leg. We've done this plenty of times, but for those of you who haven't seen it, we just kind of cut through the skin and then cut through the back here and try and get into that nice little piece that we call the oyster. And then we pull back, just disenlarge the joint there for the thigh. Flip it over, and there's usually a line of fat visible between the leg and the thigh, and we can split the joint right there. Now, of course, you can get the butcher to do this for you, either in the supermarket or the regular butcher shop. But when you're doing it yourself, just make sure you cut down deep to get that nice piece of oyster, because that's actually the tastiest, most juicy piece of meat on the whole chicken. So it's something you don't want to lose. We have 4 pieces. Now we're going to take off the breast. So we cut right through the center next to the breastbone on either side. And with our knife, we want to just go down each side. You know what, Adam, while we're waiting to do this, take these 2 onions.
Yep.
And start slicing them up on your side.
Okay.
Peel them and slice them down so we can use those for the soup.
Got it.
Going to just separate out the wing here. Again, we just split that so we can get through the bone. And then cut those pieces in half. And then we'll do the same thing on the opposite side to get rid of that whole carcass. Just follow the bones right down. Be careful not to follow it too close to your fingers. Get rid of that carcass. Same thing here with the wing. We're going to just split that right off and cut right through where we've split that joint and cut that in 4 pieces. I'll put my knife right here in the sink and a little rinse to my hands. And crank up this pan a little bit, put a little bit of olive oil in here. And what we're going to do, again, is to salt and pepper these pieces of chicken, but then we're going to flour them. I'm going to give them a nice little coating. And then get them sauteing. silence of work happening. You know, we could have all this stuff done, but we usually try and do everything live so that we see just what it takes to put these dishes together. So we have no Thyme in the background. We're going to make some onion soup for one of the dishes. That's why Adam's cutting up these onions. And then we're going to get them sauteing in this pan. Okay. Next up, we have to be ready for our pork when it's done. We need some onions sliced. When I slice an onion, I like to take both sides off the onion and I make a little cut right through. Then I can peel back that first layer, get all of that skin off. And then for this dish, for the pork, Adam's cutting his into little half rounds. I'm going to cut this into full rounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut both sides back and forth so that I'm constantly staying even with the onion and not making one side more flat or out of round than the other. Just, you know, a little bit tricky cutting it because the onion's round all the way around, so you want to make sure that you're not rocking too much to catch your finger. But by going back and forth, it really keeps it more symmetric in size. And then when you make that last cut, you can go right through holding it on both sides without having a problem with the onion falling apart or going too much from one side to the other. So we're going to keep that for our pork, and we're jumping around doing 14 different things at the same time. We need another onion for our chicken. It's got a little brown spot on it, so we'll, Adam, keep an eye on that chicken, turn that as needed. This chicken dish is actually a hunter-style chicken. Now I'm going to cut this more the way Adam was doing it. It's called chicken cacciatore, and it's actually my Uncle Mickey's chicken cacciatore. So it holds a lot of memories to me when I used to go visit him out in California. Sadly, he's passed away now, but he lived to be 79. He had a great life, and my father was one of 10 or 11 kids, actually, and Uncle Mickey was one of the older boys. And you know, not that you want to say you had favorites, but even though he lived way out in California, I used to see him quite a bit, and truly he was my favorite. We just hit it off great, and we had a great time together. Every time I used to go out there, he used to make chicken cacciatore for me, and then just flip those pork chops as well. No worries. So it's a pretty easy rustic dish. We chop up some onion, we chop up some potatoes, and I'm going to put some garlic in with that and some green olives. That was the key to his chicken cacciatore. He put these great green olives. So I'm just getting everything all chopped that I need on this board, and we'll have, you know, kind of all of our ingredients on different boards, and we can just start putting things. The garlic I'm just coarsely chopping. Now the key to doing this in an organized fashion and doing it quickly is to having your mise en place. You need everything lined up and ready to go. Here, instead of having it all prepped, we're doing it on the fly just so you can see that you know, it can be done in somewhat of a reasonable time.